So we'll talk a little about a few of these misconceptions that, as I said, we picked up, we identified that foreigners have. The first one to talk about is Vietnam a Southeast Asian country? When we think about countries, we often group them by geography, right? And that's pretty reasonable. Vietnam is in Southeast Asia. We should call it a Southeast Asian country. But if we're looking at economic growth and development, then we would argue that culture has a stronger impact on the way that a country will develop. And if you look at Vietnam's culture, it is probably more Northeast Asian than Southeast Asian. It has much more in common with Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, China, and the countries of Northeast Asia than it does with the Southeast Asian countries. Now, there's a list of similarities, but the most important, I think, is the impact of Confucianism on the society here as a philosophy and how people live their lives and their families operate, and the society operates. Now, when I raise this point to a lot of foreigners, I'm just making this point because I encourage you to share it also. When I often make this point to visiting people from Europe or America, the light bulb goes on, right? They start to think differently about the country. And it really makes things come together much more clearly. What is happening in Vietnam has already happened in the other countries in Northeast Asia. And what really is happening in Vietnam is we're catching up to the countries in Northeast Asia, not trying to follow the countries in Southeast Asia.